Hey folks, David here with a video response to a thread that was started in the horror community. Sharpshooter Horror has asked us to pick 5 movies that we could not live without in our collection. So, if we could only have 5 and 5 only, what would they be? I tried to steer clear of the franchise characters, the Freddy Kruegers and the Jason Voorhees. Tried to. But these are my top 5. The first 3 are in random order, and I'm going to kick things off with 1992's Bram Stoker's Dracula. This movie stars Gary Oldman as the title character of Dracula, and he's just one of those actors that can play just about any role. The movie has an all-star cast. You've got Keanu Reeves as Jonathan Harker. His performance, that accent he tried to pull off wasn't very convincing.
I know where the bastard sleeps. I brought him there.
You have Winona Ryder playing Mina Harker. You have Anthony Hopkins playing Van Helsing. John Waite played the character Renfield. Just an excellent movie. To be almost 28 years old, it's held up very well over the years, and it's one that my wife and I enjoy watching throughout the year. Number 4 for me would be 2019's Dr. Sleep. I know this is a new movie. I just saw it last month, but it made a huge impression on me. I'm a big fan of The Shining, and this movie is a sequel to that movie, and I just thought it did a great job at kind of taking some of the elements from the original movie and incorporating them into the new plot. I won't give away too much details because I know there's a lot of you that haven't seen the movie yet, but to be 2.5 hours long, this movie never dragged for me at all. I was captivated from the very beginning all the way up into the end. So if you haven't seen Dr. Sleep, definitely worth your time in checking it out. Number 3 for me is a movie that if I want some gore, this is my go-to movie. And that is 2013's remake of Evil Dead. My wife and I watched it this past Halloween, and it was her first time ever seeing the movie, and it scared the absolute living hell out of her. She just was squeezing my hand so hard, I thought she was going to crush it. I had fingernails buried into my forearm. It was comical to me to see the way she was reacting. The movie's just chock full of practical effects. It's, again, very gory. They turned it up to 11. I really, really enjoyed this movie. So, I was really glad to see this was remade. I know some people don't care that much for it, but it's one of my favorites and one that I will try to watch at least every year around Halloween. All right, number 2 is a franchise movie, and it's the one that started them all, and it was 1978's Halloween. Just an iconic movie. You've got the character of Michael Myers. You've got John Carpenter's score, which everyone recognizes. This movie launched the career for Jamie Lee Curtis. There was some groundbreaking videography done in this movie. You've got the continuous shot that's done in the beginning, the lighting and the hues that were different hues that were used in the film. They've been replicated so many times in other movies over the years. It's still continued to be used. I see a lot of fan films that try to replicate that lighting in their movies. So it's just an iconic movie, one that I can watch numerous times throughout the year and just never grow tired of it. My number 1 movie is Silence of the Lambs. This came out in 1992, I believe. 1991. I was 14 years old. Anthony Hopkins' portrayal of Hannibal Lecter is just one of my favorite portrayals of a character in any movie. I know some may not consider this to be a horror movie. It's more or less a psychological thriller. But for Anthony Hopkins and the character of Hannibal Lecter to only be on the screen for, I want to say, less than 20 minutes, it's some of the greatest 20 minutes in all cinema, in my opinion. Add to that the character of Buffalo Bill, which was modeled after a real-life serial killer, Wayne Gacy and Ted Bundy. And then you have the character of Clarice Starling, portrayed by Jodie Foster. It's just my all-time favorite movie. It made a huge impression on me, and it's one that I can be flipping through the channels and stumble across it, and I will stop what I'm doing and just finish the movie. It's just that great, in my opinion. So those are my top 5. If I've got 3 that I would like to share as honorable mentions. I'm a big fan of some of the remakes that have come out in the past 20 years, starting with 2003's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I really enjoyed this movie. Again, I'm not a big fan of the original movies that came out in the mid-70s, but I thoroughly enjoyed the remake. Fun fact, I have a dog, a Labrador, and his name is Kemper. And I got that name from one of the characters in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. It's the boyfriend character to Jessica Biel's character. It's his face that Leatherface is wearing throughout the movie, and his character's name was Kemper, so hence my dog's name, Kemper. Another remake that I'm a big fan of is the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th. I thought that Derek Mears did a great job at portraying Jason Voorhees. He was very methodical in the way he hunted his victims or prey. He was fast, which was something that we are not accustomed to seeing from Jason, and so many other characters, you know, from the 80s slasher movies, that they always just seem to walk, and you just wonder, how in the world are they catching up to these people? But Derek Mears, again, did a great job. He was, you know, he was big, tall. You know, he had the underground bunkers that he had built, and he would just easily get from one side of the campground to the next. Just a great movie. I'm hoping they make some more, and this court case gets settled. I would love to see Derek Mears reprise the role of Jason Voorhees. Yeah, so that's one of my favorite remakes. Last remake favorite is from 2010, and that is The Wolfman. This movie stars Anthony Hopkins and Benicio del Toro, and I'm trying to remember the name of the female actress. She played in A Quiet Place. Anyways, great movie, great special effects. I really, again, enjoy Anthony Hopkins' performance as the father in the movie. He just plays this mysterious character so well. You know he has something he's hiding throughout the movie, and then when it all comes out in the end, it's a great scene between the father and the prodigal son that Benicio del Toro plays. That's going to do it for my list. I want to say thank you to Sharpshooter Horror for starting this thread. This was a fun video to shoot. Thank you to Beth at B-Side Records. It was her video that inspired me to go ahead and shoot this video. That's going to do it for now. Until next time, take care and thanks.